Hello, friends. Thank you for coming to Trill with me. I'm Dana Varga. So you want to up your trill game. First things first, let's talk about what a trill is not. So what we don't want to do is sing back and forth between two pitches in a measured way. Because it will get messy and likely fall apart and be unable to give you the actual trill sound and the lack of control that a trill requires. It's a controlled loss of control. Another thing that a trill is not is an exaggerated vibrato. So it's close, but oftentimes you'll end up with an out of tune wobble, or you'll apply too much breath pressure, or you'll lose your vowel, and it won't be a reliable oscillation between pitches. So how do I trill? All right, well, first things first, you want to get your larynx moving. So there are many types of exercises that do this. You could start with simple octave leaps, but you should choose your favorite vowel. So whatever your favorite vowel is, whatever's feeling real good these days, choose that vowel. I'm going to pick A. And then just nice and yodely, right over any register breaks you may or may not have. Okay, so stay on that for a bit and try to notice that the larynx is moving. And try not to move the tongue. So the tongue's just chilling, larynx is doing its thing. Go a little faster if you can. So we want to feel that the larynx is doing this gentle rocking motion. You can actually feel it if you touch. So you can feel that nice, messy, cracky, wobbly, Tarzan-y feeling on the octave leap. You could also do any other type of wobble that feels good to you. For example, one of my favorites is or so again, I'm not moving the tongue, but I'm allowing the larynx to have its movement. And another example of a wobble that could be useful would be something like this. So the point being, whatever the exercise is, you can consult with your people. Get the larynx moving, get the flexibility going. If octave leaps, wobbles, and that type of exercise are hard for you, then you're probably not ready to trill yet. So you want to make that your sort of first foundational plan. Once you've got the ability to move like that in the larynx without too much activity in the tongue and able to keep the vowel fairly consistent as possible, then you're ready to start moving towards a trill. So what you want to do is shorten the intervals. So for example, my voice teacher, Steve Smith, uses a fourth wobble very often. It's very effective. 2 slow, 4 fast, like so. So what we want to do is try to convince the brain that a whole step or half step wobble, aka a trill, is the same distance. It's not, but we want our brains to feel like the larynx is going to move as much as it does in the fourths. So an example of how I would do that is I would sing the regular fourth wobble. Then I will try to mimic that sensation in the larynx, that sense of a gentle rocking, but on a whole step. And it may not go into the trill right away. You'll probably have some cracking, some funny business. It might go in and out. It might fall apart on and off. But the idea is that you're convincing your brain that the distance between the pitches is wider. This is more challenging with a half step trill. Because they're so close together that you again have to convince your brain that the distance that the larynx is tilting is further. And also, another key component to getting your trills in order is to focus your brain on the upper pitch, So while you are surrendering the larynx into your trill, just letting it go, letting it rock around, Your brain should also be focusing on hearing and sort of maintaining a sense of that upper pitch. So if I were to focus on the lower pitch, I might get something like this. Sound familiar? That's how trills often sound. So we've got a little bit of wiggle, but we're mostly just kind of banging out on the lower pitch. People tend to get louder on trills. There's no need. If the tongue is free and the breath is consistent, we can keep that trill the same volume or any volume we want on any vowel. So this time I'm going to focus on the upper pitch. My brain is thinking, hear the upper pitch, and my larynx is surrendering. And these concepts can be applied also to turns and grace notes. The same idea of tilty, free larynx, easy, floaty tongue, focusing on the upper pitch in a trill. Give it a try. Thank you for coming to Trill with me. See you next time.